So who am I? My name is Mikkel Reed. Basically, I started selling cars back in 2014, halfway through. What I do now is currently Internet Sales Director. Where have I been? Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. I have sold Toyotas, and I've sold vehicles overseas while I lived in Japan. Why I wanted to get in the business was because my older sister usually had bad troubles with either buying a vehicle or getting serviced. So at first, my friend Gabby, when I worked at Starbucks, she told me, you should be a car person. You know all your customers' name through their cars. For example, the guy with the Mini Cooper, Mr. Cooper, Mrs. 6 Series, Miss 7 Series, and so on. So at first, I thought I was too much of a people person to be a car salesman. So from there, gave it a shot. Loving it ever since. Take this career seriously. It has helped me get to Japan, marry my wife, provide for my family, etc. I want you folks to get out your notepad. So here's some things I want you to do when you go into a dealership. Just some tips for yourself that would help through. So one, I would say be prepared with documentations. I don't know what your credit's looking like, all that good stuff, but generally you're gonna need your license. That will let you go on a test drive. Two, you need current proof of insurance. If you don't have that, you can't drive off the lot and you're gonna buy a brand new car wondering when can you pick it up. Three, if you have a trade-in, your registration, we will need that and your trade-in here. Reason being is Kelley Blue Book goes through everything, but it's best to see the vehicle, the current condition of the tires, dents, so we gotta drive it, see it, touch it, smell it, all that good stuff. Another thing I would like for you folks to understand is that when you come in looking for a car, know what you want. As a car salesman, my heart was really broken when one of my best friend's grandmother basically said she went to the dealership and she didn't want to buy the car, but ended up taking it home. So when you know what you want, you're protecting yourself from older veteran car salesmen that are really good at their job, that are just going to put you into anything, or if somebody upgrades you into something you don't want. Another thing I want you to be aware of as well is your budget. You got to realize you may have a $300 a month budget, but if you're looking at a $3,000 car, do the math, $300 times 60 months, 5 years, that's $18,000 without tax, without interest. So yeah, just please protect your time, protect your money, and that way you don't get stuck with a bully old school car salesman that's just gonna throw you in anything. Next, I want to talk about down payment. I get this question a lot through a lot of customers on the phone. They always ask me, hey man, how much do I need down? Down payment is a variable. Say for example, you have rough credit. If you have rough credit and you have nothing down, you're not going to have any incentives. Why should the bank loan you money if you have bad credit and you're not putting any investment in towards it? Also, it works as a scale. Again, if you are, looking to get your down payment a little bit lower, every $1,000 is roughly $17 of payment lower. So please keep that in mind. You may need nothing down, but at the same time with nothing down, you're not going to cover your tax and license. You're not taking down the principal of the vehicle. So you're going to expect a hefty payment of whatever it is plus your APR rate. Another fact is the more you put down, the more you'll be incentivized to get a better rate because you're putting more down and different banks will buy it out. So there's plenty of banks that will finance you. But of course, like I said, it helps lower your down payment. It'll help get you better APR. And again, it may be needed, it may not. Next, I want to go over credit accountability. I get emails all the time. Hey man, don't screw me over on the APR. Your APR is your responsibility. If you have a low credit score, you're going to be shot up there, all that good stuff. Also, if you're just getting bought out and you say, for example, you're looking at a vehicle and your APR is stupid high, sometimes you have to bite that bullet, build that credit. You could always refinance in a year and a half, 12 months, 18 months, somewhere around there. That way, your credit will be better than what it was, and you can go ahead and refi at a lower rate. So that is an option as well. One big thing I would like to say too is when you go to a dealership, this is not the dating scene. So many people have a bad stigma of getting denied at a dealership when you should take the information of what you get approved or denied for and work on that from there as a building block. The fact that you're denied doesn't mean, no, I don't like you, I don't want to date you, get away. It basically means the bank does not see you in a financial position to purchase a newer or used vehicle because you don't want to be eating ramen every day, or they're worried about how they're getting their money back. So please, again, this is not the dating scene. When you come in, find out what the numbers are. That way, across the board, numbers don't change. If you're looking at different competitors, you know where you're at price-wise and what to expect on, let's say, a $30,000 car. Finally, I would love to go over trade-in value with you folks. People come in and they be like, hey man, I just want to trade in my car for yours. It's a 2019 they just bought. So how trade-ins work is, say for example, you have a loan of $30,000. You put 8 grand down. Now you owe 22K. So say the vehicle is worth, let's say, 25. So now you're positive $3,000 equity, to where that $3,000 down is kind of like your down payment. But it also works the other way. Say for example, you put no down payment. You still owe, let's say, 29. The vehicle's worth 25. You are now negative equity $4,000. So your loan carries over. We're not going to pay your loan off. We're just going to pay the value of the vehicle. And that needs to be understood. So when you come in with your trade-in, if you're on a $30,000 vehicle and you're 4 grand negative equity, that $30,000 vehicle now becomes a $34,000 vehicle. So please keep that in mind. Again, Kelley Blue Book is just going to put everything in there. We're going to evaluate it. And finally, I would say make sure it's sanitary. I mean, I've seen some super dirty trade-ins, not just for our safety, but for yourself. There's customers, they buy a new car, they got to empty like their whole life apartment inside of their vehicle, and it's just, clean your car. Don't waste money on detailing it, because again, it's going to go off the features, how old the car is, any accidents, any open recalls, etc. All the technical stuff is what it's going to go over. So make sure your car is basically pretty much empty out. I mean, if you see dirty diapers in the back, cigarettes, all that good stuff, of course your value is going to get dinged a little bit more for that. So again, sanitary for the person that has to sit in the car, drive it, smell it. I've had some vehicles that have stunk in the past, we'll put it that way. But anyways, I hope this helped you guys out. So this is just part 1. I will do some more covering a little bit more in depth, but I believe this is a good icebreaker and hope it will help some of you folks looking to buy a vehicle. At least be prepared when you come in. Thank you for staying tuned, and as always, peace and chicken grease.